Some of the things you will need are a breaker bar, a pry bar, pliers, a ratchet with a socket, a torque wrench, chocks, some spray to make your brakes quiet, jack stands, an impact gun with a socket, gloves, and a jack. After you chock the car, you're going to jack up the car using the jack, but you may need a few pieces of wood if you have a high-profile vehicle just like this one. After you jack up the car, you're going to want to put a jack stand underneath the frame just in case the hydraulic jack fails. Now we're going to use the impact gun to get the lugs off the tire so we can take the tire off and get to the brake caliper. Once the lugs are off, it's time to take off the tire so you can get to the brakes. This is the caliper, which holds the brake pads, and there's a piston inside that squeezes the brake pads against the rotor to slow down your car. There are 2 bolts to hold on the calipers, and once you get one of the bolts out, you can lift open the caliper and get to the brake pads. Because of the wear on the old pads, when you put the new pads in, you're going to need more room. So to do so, you need to bleed the pistons so there's more room for the new brake pads to fit. Once you put the new pads in, you have to put on the brake caliper and make sure it fits around the brake pads. Once it's on, you have to make sure the holes are lined up so you can get the bolts back in. Refer to your owner's manual and use the torque wrench to torque the bolts to the right specs. Now it's time to remount the tire and put the lugs back on.
What's your belt buckle?
Pretty old Jack Daniel.
By the way, this thing's really heavy. Once you get the tire on, you want to hand tighten all the lugs. You're going to want to turn down the impact wrench way down so you don't strip any of the bolts. And you're going to want to tighten them in a star pattern so that the tire seats straight. Use the torque wrench to torque the lugs to the right specifications. Once you get the lugs seated on the tire, you're going to have to take out the jack so you can torque the lugs. Once you torque your lugs, you're ready to hit the roads again.